Hello, beautiful people. It's Elisa Gary here. I am just coming to you today because I'm overdue for a video. But no, I'm getting so much together. As I shared before, I am revamping the page. I did not disappear. I know that's what some of you thought. I didn't disappear again. I just been diligently working, getting everything like formatted and lined up, making sure that um, the social media verse is connected. And that takes a lot of work, especially when you don't have a huge team or a bunch of people that's helping you. So I thank you so much for being patient with me. Um, but today I want to come on and talk a little bit about when you show up feeling like you get picked on. Um, I was working on some content for a project, a book I'm working on, Access Granted, No Cape Required. And I was actually reading, doing my devotion, and the thought came to mind where you ever notice that it's only once you show up that people want to pick a fight with you? Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. It's like as long as you are, maybe you're downtrodden or you're not fully confident in your skills or abilities, or you're not really doing anything outside of just, kind of mulling it over in your head about your business idea or some aspiration or dream that you have, and nobody has anything to say. And then once you actively start engaging and working on and checking off tasks that you've completed and showing up and talking about it and promoting yourself, all of the things, then people want to show up and pick a fight with you. Why is that? Why is that? I'm sure that there are a lot of you that can associate with that phenomenon. It's literally like, where were you when I was just couch surfing, or when I was just ruminating, going back and forth in my head about this thing? Where were you then? Like, I've been charting and reviewing a lot of things, decisions that I've made, business ideas that I've kind of like just flop, uh, help that I've given others and spent a lot of extra time pouring into other people's projects. And one thing that has stuck out to me is consistently noticing that in those seasons or the periods, whichever one you want to call it, however long or short they are, that when I'm not actively engaging or running after my ideas, my big God ideas, as I call them, these projects, these tasks that need to be done to work towards the greater goal, silence. I could go weeks, months, don't hear anything from anybody. But when you start moving and shaking, you start grinding, you start your hustle, people start seeing you moving. Now here comes all the language, all the things, all the naysayers, all the, shoulda, coulda, wouldas, or the critiques. Never any support. And I'm not talking about mentorship or godly counsel or, being the voice of wisdom that's being spoken through a person. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about straight naysayers. I'm talking about the people that will not seed into what you're doing. They won't give you any suggestions. They won't give you tangible advice. They won't give you, um, you know, feasible critique to help make what you're doing better. They'll just be like a lump of coal. They'll just be like a lump of coal, just sit on you. And, or they'll do everything that they can to get others not to help you. Like, wait, is that really a thing? You know it's a thing. You know that it's a thing. That all of a sudden, the support that you did have disappears. It's like, wait, what happened? Or the person that you talk to about all the aspirations or things that you would do if you had the time to do insert idea here. And then you suddenly make a shift. You stop, I don't know, watching as much TV. You're not scrolling on socials. Maybe you're doing research on the social media platforms, but you're not scrolling. You're not wasting time. You're focused. And then all of a sudden, that accountability partner disappears. Why? I think that instead of looking at that question from a negative perspective, it's better to look at it from a positive perspective. See, what I think that what happens in us when we start aligning our actions with what we need to actually be doing in terms of downloaded tasks and ideas and accountability steps, we start to create not only boundaries, but we also start to create a different energy. We start to build confidence. We start to allude to we're nothing to be played with. And that comes across to others. And if they truly do not mean well, a lot of times their energy will shift as well. Their true inner feelings or their perceptions of you and your God idea is going to shift, and it's going to show. Sometimes, albeit a little passive aggressive, but it's going to show. Trust me. So what do you do with that? What do you do when you already didn't really have support and you were okay with that? You're like, okay, it's just me, myself, and I. We got to do this. We got to do that. Let me put this hat on. Let me put my social media hat on. Let me put my brainstorming hat on. Let me put my back office hat on. Let me put my tech support hat on. Let me put my manager hat on. You know, it's like just a carousel of hats. And you were good with that. Solopreneurs rock, right? But then all of a sudden, what happens? Now you show up and you start rotating your hats, and now you got a bunch of people, instead of taking those hats off and putting them on and helping you, they're just running their mouth. I say stay focused. I say stay focused because what is clear is that nothing is ever talked about that isn't challenging some status quo. It's not talked about if it's not going to create change. It's not. It's just not. We live in the digital age where people talk about anything for any reason at any time 24/7. 24/7, right? So let's just start there. So even if you didn't give them a reason, people will have a reason to talk. But if you start doing something and then people have something to say, that is a good indicator that you're a game changer. Anytime a person or group of people choose to invest their energy and literally jaw-jacking about what you're doing and what you're pursuing while not wanting to lend hand to said vision or God idea, it's going to change something. It's going to shift something. And I just wanted to encourage you that as you're going into the end of the year, you do not need to step back from whatever it is that you've begun working on because of naysayers. Even if you don't know exactly what it is that you need to do next, even if you feel like you picked up an accountability partner and all of a sudden they disappeared, or if, like I said, you were okay with doing it by yourself, you didn't feel like you had any help, you started working and rotating your hats, and then all of a sudden, here comes a bunch of mouths. You're right where you belong. You're right where you belong. Keep going. Keep going. Why? Because every step that you take towards that thing that's in your heart, that you don't know why, but you just got to do it, is pulling you closer and closer to your purpose. And whether you realize it or not, you're unraveling that mystery of who you are. Not for other people, but for yourself every time you take another step. Because it's a process. There's layers to who you are. And sometimes, because we spend so much time trying to fit in, trying to appease, trying to look the part, even though we haven't actually been told what the part entails, we've had to assume, and we know what they say when it happens when you assume. But you have built all these layers around you, and sometimes it requires a little bit of shaping and pulling, shedding off to get back to your authentic self, who God literally created you to be, and not who you allowed yourself to permissively walk in. I just wanted to take a few minutes to encourage you not to wait until January 1st to keep trekking towards your God idea. If nobody else said it today or this year, I believe in you. I believe that you can do that thing that's in your heart. I believe that if you begin to continue to walk in it, continue to do your small tasks that amount to huge feats in attaining your goal, you can do it, even with all the naysayers. So what's your thing? What's your God idea that you're working on? Comment below. Let me know what it is. Let's talk about it. How have you seen since you started to walk in your purpose and showed up that others started picking a fight with you? Let me know. Have a good day.